In his work, Healing Trauma, a pioneering program for restoring the wisdom of your body, Dr. Peter Levine writes, "We become traumatized when our ability to respond to a perceived threat is in some way overwhelmed. This inability to adequately respond can impact us in obvious ways, as well as ways that are subtle. Trauma is about loss of connection to ourselves, to our bodies, to our families, to others, and to the world around us. This loss of connection is often hard to recognize because it doesn't happen all at once. It can happen slowly over time. And we adapt to these subtle changes sometimes without even noticing them. These are the hidden effects of trauma, the ones most of us keep to ourselves. We may simply sense that we do not feel quite right without ever becoming fully aware of what is taking place. That is, the gradual undermining of our self-esteem, self-confidence, feelings of well-being, and connection to life. Trauma is about loss of connection. Our choices become limited as we avoid certain feelings, people, situations, and places. The result of this gradual constriction of freedom is the loss of vitality and potential for the fulfillment of our dreams. He writes, "Human beings are born with an innate capacity to triumph over trauma." I believe not only that trauma is curable, he says, but that the healing process can be a catalyst for profound awakening, a portal opening to emotional and genuine spiritual transformation. I have little doubt that as individuals, families, communities, and even nations, we have the capacity to learn how to heal and prevent much of the damage done by trauma. In doing so, we will significantly increase our ability to achieve both our individual and collective dreams.
Sometimes the story we tell ourselves is not really true. Sometimes the story others tell about us is not really true. Here on today's Heart Lift with Janell, we are going to learn how to rewrite our story. So pick up your favorite pen and journal, grab a cup of something delicious, and start your heart-lifting journey towards living a meaningful life.
Welcome to today's Heart Lift with Janell and this beautiful bonus episode that I'm calling Triumph over Trauma. As we just heard, trauma is about a loss of connection to ourselves, to others, to God. And so I dedicate this episode to you. Dear Heartlifter, perhaps you have experienced a little t, middle T, big T trauma. Whatever the case, maybe you are just experiencing a loss of connection. We've just come through a global pandemic. We're re-entering a new normal. This global pandemic invited us into a serious loss of connection. And some of us are still grieving over that and trying to figure it out, and we're disoriented. And so this is a period where we need to reset. This is our season, our summer, to reset. When our operating system, our heart, mind, body, and soul just aren't working quite right, we just sense something isn't quite right, we need to turn off, press that button, turn off that system for a bit, for a time. to allow it to correct itself, to apply maybe some principles and practices that enable it to reset, to correct itself, to work better, to come back in a better condition. That's what we are doing here in this summer of reset. So today, welcome. We're going to take a collective deep breath, and I'm going to walk you through the power of a daily examen. You're going to need this exercise many times as we move through Stronger Every Day, 9 tools for an emotionally healthy you. We're taking 9 weeks to go through the 9 tools of Stronger Every Day. On page 34 and 35 in the introduction is the beautiful, beautiful Daily Examen that I have borrowed from the powerful Saint Ignatius, a 15th century Spanish Basque priest and theologian. This Daily Examen was at the center of his teachings. And it's a method, it's a practice to review your day and examine and set intentions for the next. So I invite you to set aside 15 to 20 minutes every day, typically at the end of the day. Sometimes you can do this in less once it becomes a rote practice in your life. I've done this while standing in line at the grocery store, while at a stoplight. It becomes a beautiful, natural rhythm in your life. And in this season of reset, you're going to be entering into a season of transition. It just happens. And so take some time even here at the beginning of our journey to revisit some providential foundational teachings that I offered in season 2. There's episodes 9 through 12 that lead you in how to rewrite your story, the rudiments of that. And then season 2, episode 26 talks about awakening to our true self. Season 2, episode 29 is all about life transitions. And then season 5, episode 3, where the light enters, really sets the stage for the book and for the 9 tools, where we talk about the beautiful Japanese kintsugi method of repairing broken pottery, the golden rejoining. And I take that and I have created a better repair method for us mentally and emotionally, a golden rejoining of our operating system, our heart, mind, body, and soul. So today, I invite you to move through these 5 steps of the daily practice. It's on page 34 and 35 of Stronger Every Day. Are you ready? Okay. Settle in. Find a quiet spot. Find a few minutes of uninterrupted time. Fight for it. Make it happen. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart. Heartlifter, above all else, guard your heart. So get comfortable. You can either be sitting in a chair with your feet flat on the floor, grounded, your palms down on your thighs where you just feel grounded, you feel in your body. You might go sit under a tree, touch the bark, feel the earth under you. You might go sit by a lake, a river, a park bench. You might lay on your floor in Shavasana, as we say in our beautiful yoga practice, just surrendered to God. I like to sit on the floor, Indian style, just comfortable, relaxed, and just take a moment and just do a body scan. A body scan is just you start at the top of your head and you check in with yourself. How am I doing? How am I doing today? How's my body? And you just scan. You start at your head, your eyes, your forehead. Are you cringing and crinkling your face? Soften it. Soften it. Relax. Move your jaw back and forth. Open your mouth a little bit. Just feel the peace flow through your body. Relax your shoulders. Are you feeling some tension in your neck? Maybe just drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Come back to center and drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Maybe drop your head down, chin to chest. And lift your eyes to heaven. Open up your throat, your neck, your heart. Move down through your arms. Maybe roll your shoulders a couple times. Little cat-cow, little moving in and then arching your back, tucking in, arching your back, rolling your shoulders again, letting your arms hang down by the side. Wiggle your fingers, roll your wrist around. Can you feel the peace moving through your body? Yeah. Feels so good, doesn't it? Just release, surrender, let go. Breathe. Maybe put your hand over your solar plexus, your belly button area. If you do have some therapeutic grade essential oils in your presence, maybe take some stress away, some Young Living stress away, some lavender, maybe some peppermint. If you are a student of Aroma Freedom Technique, you have an MRB, your memory release blend. This is lavender, frankincense, and stress away, a third of each, and you just breathe this in right now. Just breathe it in. Move down through your groin area, your buttocks, and you just relax it. Your thighs, your knees, your shins, your ankles. If you're sitting and you've grounded your feet, just lift them for a minute and circle your ankles. Wiggle your toes. All that stress and tension that has been moving through your body, I just want you to shake your feet and shake it out. Shake your hands, shake your feet. Release it into the earth. Ground yourself. Be present. And just put your hand over your heart. We'll begin this beautiful daily practice by welcoming God. Welcoming God, inviting Him here with you, wherever you are. Do you hear Him in the wind, in the trees, or the breeze? Maybe you hear the hum of a dishwasher. Just invite Him into your day, into your presence. Welcome Him in. Become aware of God's presence. Become aware that He's with you. He's sitting with you. He's walking with you. He's next to you. He's inside you. He's aware of you. He knows you. He sees you. You belong to Him and He loves you. He says to you right now, Heartlifter, you have value, you have worth, and you have dignity. Do you know that? Do you know how much I love you? I love you. You are my child. Take a few deep belly breaths to inhale this love that God is giving to you. And exhale any stressors or anxiety from the day's activities. Spend as much time as you want in step 1 here of being aware of God's presence. And then review the day with gratitude. If you're doing this as a morning practice, you can set an intention for your day. But if you're doing it as a end of the day practice, you're going to review your day with gratitude. As you reflect back on the day, make a mental list or write in your heart journal what you noticed as you moved through this day. Did you notice kind people? Did someone offer you kindness? Did you see or notice a beautiful scene in nature, or perhaps in your workspace, or inside of your family, or with your children playing on the floor? Did you stop and notice? Did you take a moment to look for that everyday epiphany? Did you look for something to take your breath away? Did you notice a stranger's help? Pay attention to your shortcomings as we move into step 3. Notice those moments where you perhaps fell back into old, unhealthy behaviors or patterns. You found yourself stuck once again in that unhealthy, repetitive, pernicious behavior or attitude or communication skill or nonverbal action that you just don't like anymore. You actually hate it. Did you notice that? Offer yourself grace, not shame. Remember, we're shifting from shaming to gracing, and we're offering ourselves love and compassion and empathy. We're going to accept ourselves while we hold ourselves accountable. So here in phase 3, in step 3, you're going to acknowledge, call it sin, call it a negative behavior, call it stuckness. But you're going to notice, you're going to affirm it, and you're going to say, help me, God. Help me. Help me in this area. Show me the way out. Show me the way through. Help me do better tomorrow. Because when I know better, I can do better. And I know that you're here to help me because I know that you're with me. I'm aware of your presence in my life. And I'm filled with gratitude that you are in my life. I couldn't do this life alone. So help me with this shortcoming. I confess it to you now. If you need to stop, pause. Allow it to wash through you like a wave. Because our shortcomings, they're going to come and go as we're moving forward. They do not last forever because we are aware and we are moving towards healthy and help to being healthy and whole. God's mercy, dear Heartlifter, are new every morning, every single hour of the day, every minute of the day. You can access God's mercy and His lavish grace. And that is going to help you become stronger every day. Now choose one feature of the day and pray about it. Do you need to rewind and reset a situation? Did that shortcoming affect someone in your life, in your spheres of influence? Were you short with someone? Did your words have a harsh tone? Did you give a cutting of your eye? Did you perhaps yell, scream? Now's the time to reset. To press that reset button. Find that person. Maybe that person's yourself. Maybe you shamed yourself. Maybe you said terrible, awful things to yourself in your stuckness. Just take a moment and make that right. Just say, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm working. I'm a work in progress. I'm trying to triumph over traumas in my life and become whole. Do you need to ask for help? Asking for help is one of the greatest signs of strength. Do you need to call a mentor? Do you need to call a counselor? Do you need to call a trauma-informed therapist, life coach, spiritual director? And finally, we move into step 5. Look toward the day to come. You know, here in the Heartlift community, we know that we have to bring the past into the present in order to make meaning of it, make sense of it, and make peace with it. And when we do that, we leave it here and we don't take it into the future. Look toward the day to come. Remember, God's mercies are new every day. His lavish grace He gives to us every second of every day. We just have to open our hands and open our eyes and look to God. I offer this simple prayer to end the day. And if you're beginning your day and you have set intentions, this is also a prayer for you to move through the day. Because of your great love, God, I am not consumed. For your compassions toward me never fail. They never fail. It astounds me, God, that your mercies are new every day and that I can open my hands, my heart, my life to you, and you help me again and again and again. I fail, you pick me up. I fall, you pick me up. Your mercies are new every day. They're new every morning, every new dawn, every new sunrise, every sunset. I can leave my shortcomings, my falls, my failings. I can leave them here, right here, in your presence, and you take them so that I can lay my head on my pillow and I can be at peace. Your faithfulness towards me, God, never ends. Thank you, God, for this day. This daily practice is for you, Heartlifter. It's available for you to use as a guide in the morning and the evening, at the end of a week, on a Sunday evening. It's a daily practice. It's a daily examen that I absolutely know will help you not only reset, but reconnect. We know that trauma, pain, hurt causes a loss of connection. And the daily examen to be in God's presence, to review the day with gratitude, to pay attention to our shortcomings, to choose a feature of the day, to pray about it, to consider it, to examine it, to reflect, how can I do better? How can I move forward? God, help me. And then we look towards the day to come because his mercies are new every morning. This practice will lead you back to yourself, to connecting to your truest self. It will lead you to a deeper intimacy with God, which will lead you to a deeper intimacy and connection to everyone in your sphere of influence.
Thanks for listening today. It was great having you here. For even more great content and resources, please join the Stronger Everyday online community at janellraridan.com. Always remember, you, my friend, have value, worth, and dignity.